Will take 1 or 30 seconds to get me the link. Will take 1 or 30 seconds to get me the link. So here is the link for you guys. Okay. Able to copy it? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to WRITERNAAMA, another episode of Author to Author series. And this year seems like skyrocketing with all the authors one after the other. And today we have a revolution in, I would say revolution disguised in book also, and revolution disguised in form of a person also. So the author has brought something very fiery, very revolutionary. We'll talk about that. But before that, let me tell you some incident which definitely connects with this concept of the book. So when we were doing NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, one of the activities was something like this. I'm not making you do the exercise, but this is what it used to be like. We were asked to take 3 deep breaths. And after that, we were asked to look into the room and spot all the things which were red. Just spotting, not telling the names and all, just noticing. And after that, we were asked to close our eyes and recall all the things which were blue in the room. And we used to be like, okay, you did not ask us to see blue, so we never noticed blue. And this is what happens in real life also, whether it is a scenario of education, upbringing, or something else. Or maybe, the system or the political system or whatsoever. Since we start, we are asked to see the reds. And that's why we see the reds. But does that ever mean that there are no blues in life? And this book, The Flip Side Cult, talks about the blues of the life, or I would say the flip side of the, not life, but yes, definitely the system where you are living, the surroundings where you are. It makes your horizon very broader. And talking about the author, it's been, I guess, more than 7 years. I have lost count of the years since we know each other right from the time when he was, I guess, my first client for editing. So this book was edited by me back then, I think 7 years back. And since then, the professional, something which started as something professional, turned into friendship. And this was the first time, I guess, a month back, I met him in real. But it never felt like that I'm meeting him in person for the first time. So bringing on VIjay, and before I hand it over to him, I want to say a few lines about his book as well. So if I have to define him in one word, for me, he is the other name of clarity. Why? Because his book itself, the concept itself, the way he thinks, the way he, wraps his ideas into story, that reflects a lot of clarity in his mind. And that's one of the very important aspect. I think if I say, somebody asks me that, why you focus so much on writing techniques, why you focus on these things so much, and my whole idea behind all these is that I hail from the place where more than making them writers, I want them to think clearly. I want them to be clear thinkers. And when I saw the similarity since the start, back then, I don't think so that I was very clear about this part, that I want to spread the idea about, clarity, clear thinking, want to build up a complete mass of clear thinkers. Since then, I have seen Raj doing that since then. Or if I have to define him in one adjective, which is a bit personal, I would say he's such a true friend, such a, I would say, loyal friend. And if I have to define him for what he is really, for me, or according to me, he's a redefiner. And Flipside Cult, his book, which is a debut book, it took a lot of time because of so many reasons. But yes, it is still a revolution, still even has the spark which it used to give me when I read this story for the first time. Without even editing, I told him that this is going to be a hit. And so Flipside Cult will flip the way you see the world. It's a roaring revolution. I call this, as I said, that I call this a revolution disguised between the spines. It's not a story, it's a saga of hope, of revelation, and of truth. And what makes this book stand out is that it will instill a lot of courage in you. It will show you a different perspective. It dares to ask right in front of your eyes that what if the entire system is designed to keep you distracted, indebted, or docile? Through sharp dialogues, love that doesn't fit the fairy tale mold, and rebellion sparked by insights, this story in The Flip Side Cult unpacks a complex economic, emotional, and ethical dilemmas without ever losing the human touch. And there's a lot which I can talk about the book, because it's not just that I have read the book, I've edited the book, and right now also I'm revising the book just because I want to. There's no other pressure on me. And the most important thing this book will do to you is it will enable you to ask a lot of questions. And I guess that's what matters in life, that the moment you start questioning things, not from the place of judgment, but from the place of curiosity, the answers become, the answers are really revolutionary. And read this book if you are tired of those books who keep on talking about freedom. There are sweet nothings about freedom. They deliver 5 things you really don't want in life. This one is a war cry. So in short, if I say in a bit slang language, what Flipside Cult is, it's a middle finger to the modern consumerism in a form of a very well-packed story, strong characterization that you will be captivated and charmed by that. So I welcome Raj here on board. Welcome, Raj, and welcome here on WRITERNAAMA and giving us time. And today we are going to drill you, whatever you think about your book. And congratulations, first of all.
Hey, thanks a lot, Heena, for giving me this platform, first of all. And Manvinder is also here, who I met, I think, 5-6 days back, and she has become a good friend, I would say. She's an early reader for my book, and very blessed to find such people in your community, Heena. So thanks for your support. And yeah, I feel so. I mean, the day is very emotional for me. I have been waiting for this day. I would say I have not been waiting, but this day has been called by universe, I would say, for this day. 8 years back, we started 7-8 years back, I think, right here. I started writing this and complete, but then for the official launch, we have come this far, and now today is the day when we are discussing on an open platform. So yeah, feeling so good today.
Indeed. And so that's what it looks like when your when your dream becomes the reality. And I did not want to talk about Manvinder first. I wanted to introduce her as my team next, but thanks to you, your humble nature, that you have done that. Manvinder is on board with me. She's also a book writing coach, and I'm honored to have her in my team, where we work together, we learn together, we do things together. They are the biggest support, she and Zeal. And yes, the day before yesterday, you saw Zeal with us. Today, Manvinder and I will be asking so many questions to Rajesh.
Thank you, Heena, and thank you, Raj, for having me here. It's an honor for me for to work with Heena, and similar honor to know Raj and to read his book. And he trusted me with giving the first read, I being the first readers among the books. So it was a great honor, and I would love to talk about your book in the following grilling sessions. Over to you, Heena, for the further movement.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Raj, I would start with the start, and I would start with my personal point of view, which I always have for books, or maybe I would say as a reader, this is what I do. Look, when I go to a bookstore, or even generally for the bookstore, because on Amazon, you cannot see all the titles. When I go to the bookstore, I don't judge a book by its cover. I judge the book by its title. And your title, for the very first time when it came to me, was like, wow, the title itself is so intriguing, so bold. And so let's talk about it. What exactly I mean, where the idea come from for the title, and was it instant? First, the idea of title came, or first the story came? How did it roll out for you? He's frozen, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Hina. Am I still connected?
Yeah.
My
Now
skill,
you are.
my screen
Yes.
is frozen actually. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. So yeah, I mean, this whole flip side cult, the name, the title comes from. I mean, there are two main words in this, right? So the flip side and the cult. So flip side is about a mindset which goes beyond the system in the sense whatever we have been told in the books, whatever notion we have uh, for the system around us, the ecosystem or the social system, at our cultural system also. So it has been, I mean, uh, going through the evolution theory of Darwin, been so many years, the same thing we have been told in the books, right? So then flip side is the mindset, I would say, that which goes beyond those systems and which is curious to dig an additional layer to go to know the truths with the help of data. So now is the so this century is a century of data, right? Internet and data, and we have enough proofs, we have enough data to make our own perspectives. So that's the flip side mindset, I would say. And cult is something which is a connected mindset. The same mindset people, they connect and they form a cult. Why cult? Why not religion or a community? It's not a religion because religion word is a lot of, I mean, it's spoiled. So I didn't want to name it a flip side religion or a flip side community. So cult stands for, I mean, whenever we think about it, it feels like something rebellious is happening in this. So this whole, so this name did not happen at once. So when I started writing the book, I had this flip side word in mind, and then when there is actually a good explanation also, and one of the character explains in his letters to his girlfriend that why the flip side cult name has been chosen for the tool, right? So that's the story behind the title, if that explains.
Yes, absolutely. And I am not revealing much of the story without your permission, and also because I really want people to read it. Uh, because this
Yeah.
is a revolution. And as I said, that it's a courage wrapped in a form of a book.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
definitely. Manvinder, would you like to ask him a question before I ask the next one?
Sure, definitely. I am actually so curious to know about the time, like when you were talking about this kind of yawner, the dystopian. Uh, I was just surprised when Hina told me that you already had that idea 8 years back. So, I mean, talking about this dystopian era in these times is still, connectable. But how in the earth, like, are you a time traveler? How could you think about it? Like 8 years before. So what was, I want to know as a reader? So, what was the one time or in your life when you felt that this is the idea I'm going to write about? Or what was it, a moment
Hmm.
of meltdown, or what was it that triggered you to work on this idea or to even think about this idea?
Oh my God, my favorite question. um, Actually, so the I mean the times which I saw. So I completed the book in 2018, and post that there were times when this whole dystopian system, expressed itself. The COVID times, post that also when the whole this AI revolution happened, right? ChatGPT and all. So there were two times when I realized that okay, maybe some prophecy was done in the universe, and the universe chose my mind to express it that time. So it feels like um, uh, it just this it just brought. I mean, my mind just brought it out. That's but the very point how this idea, because one event cannot trigger an idea. In the sense, in the book, there are so many examples. I mentioned that how we are living in a dystopian era already. So there were in the Indian in the Indian scenario, in 2018, 17, 18, there was Nirav Modi thing was going on with the PNB. So I was like, man, this guy is defaulting on the PNB, and the bank is ultimately it's public bank, and it's a public property. So ultimately, who is going to be at the last node of the chain? It's the retailers or the consumers like us. So that was some point, because I lost some money in during the stock crash that time. So it hurt me a lot, and that this is a trust. I mean, these entities are like backed by the government. Government has a share in these entities, and we trust the governments. If I have put my savings in some of these faiths and I'm losing it, then something's not right. Somewhere something's not right. Whatever we have been told in the books, it doesn't connect. I am not able to connect. Not able to connect the dots. So this whole series of things. Then I started researching that there is not only this thing, but other things also. There are some controversial things also. I mean, people might find them controversial in the book. Um, but yeah, I dared to just express them because I felt that that no AI was there that time, but there was sufficient information on the internet. If somebody wants to collect them and just with that flip side mindset, if they want to think that how these are happening, uh, you are able to connect the dots, and you would relate the book to a lot to the book if you are thinking in that way. So that was the point, and I started writing it, and I mean, there are a lot of things in the books. I have been writing since my childhood, so it could have been expressed in some other form also, some other artifact also, like some internet tool if I could build, but it took shape of a book because I wanted to write a book first of all. So this whole happened, everything happened at the same time that I was aspiring to write a book, and then all these things happened. So yeah, it took a shape, and I was able to bring this out to the world. That's how it happened. If it, I
Thanks
mean,
for the
I am
insight.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please continue.
No, I might go a little deeper into those uh, because I'm really attached to those times when I was writing the book. It was a very kind of a self discovery I was having that time. So pretty much close to my heart. So I'll keep on talking about it. So you can ask me the next question.
I just want to say that, it is many times people are aware of what is going wrong, and they are not aware of the deeper level, the roots where the wrong has started, or where they are, connected to each other. But somehow some people are aware, and they sometimes they do not have the daring to come out. But kudos to you, you came to recognize, you researched it, and you've put it in a form of a book, and not as an allegation, or not as a question to the government or the systems, but in a form of a story. So this was very innovative of you.
Yeah, thanks, Manana. I mean, yeah. So yeah, one point I want to say, this book could have been a non-fiction also. But see, I mean, non-fiction or fiction. So fiction means when we read fiction, there are stories which we try to remember, which we try to relate. So I wanted everybody to connect to the characters so that they can connect to, because this is I think this genre in it. So Orwell, I'm very fond of Animal from George Orwell, and Animal Farm, sorry, and 1984. So these are the books which are not like very famous in India. Like a good reader community will know these books, but not everybody. So to write a fiction for the everybody, I mean the fiction which everybody can read in India with an Indian background, Indian setup. So that was the whole idea to write this fiction as a fiction.
And you have tapped into the right point, which I personally strongly believe in it. Being a book coach, book writing coach, I've seen that although I get many people who are wanting to write non-fiction, and those who want to wrap that story in, wrap the non-fiction part or the message into the story, that becomes very powerful. Because first the reader connects with the character, with their problems, with their setup, and as the science also behind the storytelling, which works, that mirror neurons happens, and what the so many hormones get released, and after that chemical effect and the chemical bonding, that message stays deeper inside you, that your mind is able to retain that message faster. Reader remembers that, and it's somewhat like very natural, and you don't even know that it's there in your subconscious. And that's the power of reading stories also. I have, over the period of time, after 40 plus people when wrote book under my guidance, I realized that those who were reading fictions, when they came to me, even if they were writing non-fictions or writing fictions also, their thought process, their sentence structure, their thinking process was much more clearer. Even if they were writing stories, it used to become sharpened with time. Or if they were already reading fictions, there used to be a stark difference. Even now, like whoever comes, if they are already a fiction reader, there's a stark difference in the sentence structure. There's stark difference in association of things. There's stark difference in connecting the dots. There's so much depth there, which often gets brushed under the carpet, because these days, that's what I am observing. Because out of 40, if I count the number of novels that has been written under my guidance, that would be just maybe 2-3 of them. And being a book coach, I present both the scenarios, that you can wrap it up in a story also, but people are very scared that, how would that be happening, first of all? Or maybe that comes from a judgment that novel might not be that impactful. But that's why I keep on, whenever I'm talking in WRITERNAAMA community about your work, I'm talking because this is the power of such a powerful message wrapped up in a story in such a revolutionary format. It would not have done it. The justice couldn't have been done if this was in a non-fiction format, for sure. This is what I feel, because then it would become preachy. A lot of,
Right.
you should do this, you should do that, and all that. But here,
I want to add here one line. I'm sorry,
sure,
because it is really connecting to what Heena is saying. As a fiction, buff, I'm a diehard of fan of a fiction, and I write stories also. But if I had to read the same non-fiction version of yours, I wouldn't have picked it up,
same.
because this
Political
idea,
topic.
yeah,
Yeah.
this idea, the idea
Little heavy.
is a little heavy for me to read as a non-fiction. Fiction में बहुत अच्छे से it comes out and you connect the dots. You see the scenarios, you visualize the things which are in front of you. So the idea gets connected heart to heart. And in non-fiction, it's the other way around. You have to understand things.
Right. And
Yeah.
I would, one line, if I want to summarize the part of the fictionalizing things, or especially after, this is a living example, flip side cult, that such a strong message has been told in a story format, complete novel, and still it stands so strong, so strong. I guess this is one of the very most courageous novel ever written under my, here it was written by him only, but I edited, but still I would consider that as a part of my community. One of the very most courageous, I would say the most courageous one is this one. The most innovative one is this one. I generally never compare, but sometimes some books, some authors make you say those things which are genuinely, that's a kind of respect without insulting anybody. But point here is that if you really want to connect with those audience also who are generally not interested in your topic, write fictions and wrap your ideas in fictions. And that's what you have done to me, because I'm a apolitical person. I don't get into politics and all. TV, even if the TV is on, I'm like, I go deaf there if my husband is switching on news. So I'm that kind of person. Making me read a book which is talking about political system and talking about things which are really, generally, if it would have been in a news or a headline or a article or a blog, I wouldn't have given it a shot. If it would have been a non-fiction, I would have returned the project to you. मुझे interest नहीं है इसमें.
Now pretty relatable, Same here.
Oh, wow. Wow. you being, I'm again generalizing, but generally like this is what has happened. Like a male counterpart, especially in India, is generally interested in the non-fiction part, and that's what I've observed. It may be the other way around. As I say, reds and blue matter. So I
Yeah.
might not have seen much of the blues. Cool. So okay. So one question I want to ask Raj is, कहानी पहले आई, किस्सा पहले आया, किरदार पहले आया? So the plot first came or the character first came?
Okay. Very difficult question, actually. So I think the idea came first. So idea is like my destination. That's the goal. And for every destination, there is a journey, I would say. And in that journey, there are milestones, right? So I know where I need to go, right? And there are different milestones. So character buildup is like a journey to those milestones, and the plot twists are like the milestones. So to achieve that goal, there are plot twists, which are milestone, and there is a journey, the character build-up journey to via those milestones, right? So sometimes what happens is the journey is in the meadows, and you like to stay in the meadows. You stretch that journey part, even if it's long. So if you are into the character so deeply, you'll try to invest lot of amount of time and effort, and the whole book part into that. So to answer your question, कि idea पहले है या फिर, I mean the character builder versus the plot twist and all. So it's mix of that. Journey के लिए I decided these are the milestones, but sometimes the character I took wrong turns, but in those wrong turns, the character buildup was so good that I appreciated and accepted those wrong turns. And sometimes I just passed the journey. I took a shortcut, right? So it depends on what character I've been writing. For that character, the character build is my priority. And if sometimes the plot twist is the priority, then um, uh, I mean, would have compromised on the some characters also, which you would see in the book. You'll realize what characters I'm talking about. Um, yeah, that it's not a political answer, but that's how it's been.
Yeah. Very interesting. And I will keep on asking questions. Like it would be a mix of maybe something about your book and something about the writing process. Cool. So
Okay.
Manvindra, any questions from your side?
Yeah, sure. So, as we are closing towards the time, I mean, my question, I really want to know, like you said, it took 8 years, to stretch out the story and you, as you speak, as a Lagra, you're so much connected to the process and the story making and the character forming. Uh, Putting this aside, during this process, what was what changed in you, or what was one thing you felt very, what discovery it made in yourself as a writer during this process of 8 years while you were conceiving your book? Something must be, you discovered something about you. Can you please tell us about it?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, the discipline to write a book, that was discovered. So I was a writer. I mean, Heena and I used to share a lot of these poetic little pieces with each other. So we were kind of these kind of writers, right? So, but to be an author, from writer to an author. So writer is like more of a impulse writer. I was kuch aaya and I just wrote it. So that was the time when I was exploring my other career options also. It was like I was like 24 or 25-ish. So that time. So I was exploring options, and one option was to be an author. And but I was not sure whether I would be, because writing and being an author of a novel, these are two different things. So I set a time for myself that okay, this is the time, and this is the discipline I'm gonna maintain, and will I be able to complete the book or not? So fortunately, that the thing which I discovered from, about myself is the discipline which was not visible to me when I started the writing. I realized that I am that kind of a person who has the writing discipline. Achieve that goal, I used to, so I used to wake up in the 5 in the morning, spend 2 hours daily for writing, and that was a discipline actually I maintained, and that helped me a lot to finish this book. And so yeah, that's the finding about me. I
Actually, this is
am
the
a
most
disciplined writer.
inspiring of your takes on this, because as writers, we tend, you very well said that writer is different, and being an author is different, because
Yes.
writers take their time and they can be switch on, switch off.
Yes.
The writing, sometimes the ideas are in head but very difficult to come out on the paper. Sometimes we don't have time, and sometimes that aha moment leaves us. But
Yes.
rightly said, a discipline, when it is made, things start come to you, and the dreams are come into the reality. So discipline, I also need to inculcate this in my life if I want to churn out another book, and hopefully I'll imbibe it in me also.
Yes. All the best, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I feel the same. Like it's about as I say that the book rewrites you, and it rewrites you. I guess the discipline was already there when you believe in the very strongly in the why of your book, which you already did. You had suffered, and then your why was very emotionally strong why, and that also becomes one of the very strongest anchor that keeps you going. Like looking back at all of my 4 books and the fifth one as well, although the fifth one was an anthology, so it did not take that much of time compared to the ones which were solo books. uh the similar process I followed, that get up in the but for every book the why was very strong why, that for once I had to heal myself, I had to come out, because I was suffering from the loss of my mother-in-law, although I did not expect that I would be feeling the void, but there was this void, and there was this breakdowns and all, and I wanted to just channelize. uh During COVID, when I wrote the third one, I was like, again, I want to channelize what is happening in the world around. I want to just shut it down, and I want to put my mind somewhere. Very emotional wise for every book I could see. And I think those who complete their book and don't leave it in between have very strong whys. Sometimes you may leave, there are circumstances, but completely leaving it, never touching it back again, that's where you need to look back and see, maybe you need to sharpen your why, or maybe
Yeah.
find that emotional why which is missing. Wonderful. So time for rapid fire. I would hand over to Manvinder first. She'll ask you 10 rapid fire questions. So you cannot think, you're not allowed to think. Whatever comes first at instinct, you have to tell that
Yeah.
word. And
Sure.
he will take over. And then maybe 5, 6 questions I will ask. Again, rapid fire.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, Manvinder, over
So
to you.
as yeah, sure. I'm so excited. So as Hina said, you don't have to think about it, just on the spur, whatever comes to your mind, and in very brief manner. So starting with we've discussed it, but I want to hear one line answer which you would diplomatically, said it. So character first or plot first?
Plot first.
Right. So you would prefer writing in a cafe, or you want your own den of silence? Nobody disturbs me.
My silence.
Okay. So would you prefer antagonist with a broken heart or a brilliant mind?
Brilliant mind.
Nice
Right.
question.
So will you kill your beloved character or keep the story safe?
Very difficult. I would pass on.
No, Faz. You
Pass
you
is
have
allowed.
already done it, I suppose. Maybe that's not the correct, beloved character, but come on,
Um,
Jaldi.
that's why I'm saying it's a rapid fire, na? So I'm thinking. So please pass it on.
Okay, fine, fine. Yeah, we are
Okay,
giving you
fine.
time to think of that.
Okay, book to screen adaptation. Will you prefer book to screen adaptation or book to stage play? Would
Sorry,
you
the
rather
second
see
option
your
is?
okay? So would you rather see your book in a form of a film or in a form of a play?
Film. It's a movie. Definitely, it's a movie.
Great, great. I would love to see that. Okay, one epic novel or a trilogy coming on.
Sorry, I little, I think,
Would you
technical
keep
glitch.
this? Yeah, would you keep this as a one novel, epic novel, or would you write trilogy or
No.
maybe series coming on further?
Um, it's an epic novel, I would say. There is no series to it, but on the similar ideologies, yes, definitely the sequels are on lined up.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that. Okay,
Yeah.
so you would love praise from critics or love from readers? You have to choose
Love
from
from
one.
readers.
Amazing. That's a true writer. Okay. Write every day or binge write on weekends?
Sorry, first thing is,
Write every day
yeah,
or binge write on weekends? I know the answer. We know the answer, I think.
yeah, I would like to write every day.
Yes. Okay. Uh, Last one from my side. So, rejection email or a 1-star review on Amazon? That's a wicked one now. I'm sorry.
If it's an honest review, I would still prefer a 1-star review on Amazon. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That's a wind up from
Thank
me.
you, ma'am.
It was wonderful knowing you, and your perspective about the book. Over to Heena now.
Thank you. That's so kind of you, Manvinder. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And again, a rapid fire. So not more than 9, not even a second to think about. Okay.
Okay.
Whatever comes
Yeah.
to your mind, just bring it out. Okay. So the very
Yeah,
first one,
sure.
Raj, your cult name, if you had one.
The flip side cult.
Okay. Writing with music or writing with silence?
Silence. Definitely
Okay.
silence.
Which fictional character would you want should definitely join Flipside Cult? Not from your book, from somewhere else, some other book. Which fictional character?
Yeah, that's
the thinking
now
one.
I'm thinking a lot. That's not a
Okay.
rapid fire question, Heena.
Okay. Okay. Kill off a character or redeem them. What gives you more joy?
Sorry, the first one is?
Killing a character or saving a character? What gives you more joy?
First one, I would say.
Okay. Okay. If you have
Actually,
to,
that's the brutal truth. I don't want any sugarcoating. So that's how things. I'm a big fan of GOT, Game of Thrones.
okay. Okay. Uh, okay. If you have to pitch the Flipside Cult in just 5 words, 5 words, do that. Only 5.
Okay. Yeah. Rebellion, brilliance, evolution, uh, the data backed up faith, and the last one would I kindness.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. If your protagonist texted you right now, what would they say?
Why did you bring us under the grave for 8 years, and now you are giving us the rebirth? Why, man? Why?
Wow. Wow.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Although you don't do this, but still I'm asking because you took 8 years. So answer might come from there. What's your
Mhm.
guilty pleasure while when procrastinating?
Yeah, okay. So,
You were not procrastinating, I know, but you were doing something, whatever you're doing, is a one-line answer for that.
I would say I was exploring the publishing market. When I say exploring the market, lot of things. Maybe we can have a separate round of interview for that. Plus the events which happened, right? So I was looking for some testimony that let's see what happens. And I thought it will take another 50 years to have such events, but COVID and this whole AI, this has just happened in like 4-5 years.
Yeah.
And I read my novel like 3-4 times myself after writing in 2018. Post COVID, I read it once, then again now. So I was in a happy, I would say, अपना खुद का एक private zone था. So I was happy that something's happening. But yeah, recently got a push from a friend. You know who knows better than you? You know that please bring it out. So everything was ready. It was we reviewed it together, right? So everything was ready, and now was the time. And um, I learned a lot about the publishing and marketing. So when I say marketing, it's not the push marketing, but to go to the right readers. That's the whole point of marketing, I think. So I learned a lot about it, and I when I was sure that now I can I can make sure that my book goes to the right readers. I got this faith in me, and then I went ahead with the and I think I'm on the right track. I'm getting very good reviews from the good in the sense the honest reviews from the early readers, and I think it's getting its traction. It's a due traction. It's going to the right readers, you know.
Wonderful, wonderful. Would love to see the book. That's what I was saying.
Yay!
Mine one is in the other room. I'm very sorry for that. But
Yeah.
give it a shot, guys, and thank me later that you made us read such a nice book. Okay, thank you, Raj, for being here. It was fun talking to you. It never felt like, that we are interviewing you, and it felt like just a friendly chat. And thanks for being here. Thanks for sparing time. Thanks for writing this book despite your job, keeping that discipline. Thanks for being that inspiration and being that revolution. And
Oh, thanks a lot, Heena, for what you are doing, and for the kind words, for giving me, right circle. Feels really good, and yeah, no words, just
no words, all
the
good, joyful feelings. And I'm giving words
yeah.
to it because
No,
I can do
surprisingly,
that.
I ordered my book with a very I was the first one to order my book, and I'm the last one to get my book. So today only I got my lot. I think it was delayed somewhere. My all the readers got the books. I'm asking them that, oh, give me a screenshot of the cover, how it is looking. I'm getting a feedback, and today I got it. So yeah, I mean it is
And that too by
something.
luck, because you never know when the author copies come.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
Right. And thank you, Manvinder, for being here and making it even more fun-filled conversation.
Pleasure and honor is both mine, continuing the gratitude circle. I am so honored to be here, and it actually felt that, we are having a friendly chit chat rather than interviewing Raj. I am having so many questions more and would love to have a second session, of knowing this book and Raj perspective over things. And as I said to him also earlier, this is a completely new genre for me, but I'm loving every bit of it. And I did not feel that, ऐसे जैसे कोई ये political issues and money related issues just go over my head. But I am feeling interested and it's gripping me. So very well written, and definitely God bless you further for your success and all the good wishes for you.
And this
Thank you
time,
so much,
wait
man, for
for
kind
8 years.
words. You've always been so kind. Thank
And this
you
time,
for
don't
being
wait for
here.
8 years, okay? We want next book in 8 months. Not,
Yes.
not even 9 months,
Yeah.
8 months. 8 years का बदला 8 months से.
Yeah, I mean, exact timelines, I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely things are lined up. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so
Great,
much.
great.
And we'll come again very soon. Thank you to all of you for joining here. There was a good number of people. I could see many thumbs up over there in the chat box as well. So thank you, and bye-bye. Have a great evening ahead.
Thank you so much, Heena. Thanks, Manvinder. See you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.